It's a named zombie. Let's see here. Let's get out the gift from Sam B, shall we? Here we go. Right here, boys and girls. Here we go. Oh, that didn't do nothing to Starla. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so yeah, I am level 24 right now. Okay, and this is endgame. I finished the story. Now, what's the one thing you notice? All right, I'm pretty high level. Like most of my cards, I found most of my cards. Come on, I'm trying to knock. There we go. Oh! What's the one thing you notice here? Like, even though I'm high level, the zombies are still a threat, right? Like, just because I've gotten better at killing zombies doesn't mean that they're not a threat, right? Alright. There we go. They're still very much a threat. They're never not going to be a threat. And I really enjoy that about a zombie game, right? There is no sense that, you know, all I need to do is find enough antizin or what is it? The inhibitors. I don't need, like, I'm never going to find enough inhibitors, and I'm never going to find enough zombie meth or whatever it may be to make me like a god tier sort of player. The zombies will always be a threat. And that's a good thing, right? That's what you want in your zombie game. Games like Dying Light, especially like Dying Light 2, make the player so OP sometimes that human enemies and zombies are just no longer a threat to you. Like, you become the boss fight, right? Which is fine, but if your game is a zombie game, then you want your zombie game to stay just that. And it's kind of hard to do that when your character is so OP, nothing can stop them. Okay. So yeah, that is one thing that makes Dead Island 2 a better zombie game. There's always a challenge. Always. There's always a challenge, and that matters. Most combat in Dead Island 2 is going to be methodical. It's going to be intimate in many ways. Depending on your Slayer, it could be like very up close. Like the tanks, you know, require a lot more up close and personal combat tactics. They need that, right? Because that plays to their strengths. And in games like Dying Light 2, there's a whole lot of scaling buildings and using your paraglider, maneuvering around the city, avoiding zombies, not because they could mess you up, but just because it's a nuisance, right? Dying Light 2 relies heavily on human-to-human interactions, whereas, again, like, zombies are at the forefront of this world. They're always going to be there. They're always going to be a threat. Especially in large crowds, right? And that's what really matters. You're going to have elite enemies coming out of nowhere. Coming to mess you up. Of course, the Butcher... you need to fix that, Dam Buster. I saw that. I don't know if that's ever going to get fixed. With the whole, you know, zombies just sort of spawning in, like, right there in front of you. That's a pet peeve of mine when it comes to this game. Oh well, there's no such thing as a perfect game. So yeah, zombies are at the forefront. There's very little human interactions. Nobody's out here. When you're out here on the streets, it's just you and the zombies, right? It's not you, the renegades, the bandits, survivors, PKs, and anyone else. Dying Light 2 really suffers from the same, like, similar problems that Fallout 4 had. There's a whole lot of humans out there. For what reason? Don't know. Why? Why is there so many humans out there? Was there even an apocalypse? It certainly doesn't seem that way, does it? You had the Gunners, you had the Raiders, you have you've got the Minutemen out there, you've got the Brotherhood of Steel out there walking around, you've got the Children of Atom out there walking around. It's like there's a whole lot of human stuff going on. So it never feels like you're isolated out there. It never feels like you're way out there, far away from like a safe place. And here you are, like exploring the depths of something very like you don't really want to go down there because you know you're, you know how if you get out, you know you're gonna have a long trek back to where you need to go. Um, there is that sense, that feeling of I'm out there by myself. Um, I'm not going to be running into hardly anyone. So it does have that feeling of isolation, like a game like this does, whereas Dead Island 2's Dying Light 2's world feels way too lived in. People are way too comfortable. It makes the zombie threat even less of a threat when there's so many people out there, you know. Um, so yeah, I mean, Dying Light 2 is a fantastic adventure game with some zombies in it, and Dead Island 2 is a zombie game, a very good zombie game. It does what it sets out to do. It gives the player just enough power. It gives the player a progression system they can work with and enjoy. But no matter how powerful you are, you will. I mean, the zombies will always be a threat. So there's always that feeling of oh no, oh no, oh no, no matter what level you are, and I think that's a good thing. Because goodness knows if your character um, was OP all the time, then it would just be a boring experience. Um, it certainly feels that way with games like Dying Light 2. Like once you max your character out and like you can't feed him anymore, you can't feed Aiden any more zombie meth, like he becomes the boss fight in everything, right? And while some players might enjoy that like that god mode sort of gameplay, um, it sort of takes away like that's just one more step away from uh, Dying Light from its zombie roots, like its zombie horror roots. So while Dying Light 2 is arguably it is a fun game, it is an incredibly long game. Okay, because again, it's designed to keep you there for a long time. Whether or not you're having a good time, well, again, that's up to the player, right? And then you have a game like Dead Island 2 that wants you having a good time. Whether or not you're here for a long time, that's up to you, right? Two opposite two opposite basic formulas, right? One works for one game, one works for the other game. But there is no doubt in my mind that when you compare Dying Light 2 to Dead Island 2, Dead Island 2 is the better zombie game, okay? Whereas Dying Light 2 is a really fun action game with some zombies in it. All right? All right? It's just kind of no denying that. Okay? The gore system in this game, of course, is chef's kiss. They did try to add a gore system into Dying Light 2, and what they ended up with was, yes, some better, it was a better gore system, but again, the one thing that I feel like that just drives me crazy with Dying Light 2 is you'll be hacking and slashing zombies up, and you'll see stuff spraying everywhere, right? The red spaghetti sauce. Like some of these zombies look like they should have sawdust in their veins, but they still squirt that red tomato sauce everywhere. that a human enemy would if you caused a critical hit on them. It's the same generic red spaghetti sauce spewing out of everything, which visually is incredibly distracting. So even though you can kind of see some of the new gore system, there's so much red tomato sauce everywhere. It's hard to see it sometimes. Whereas this game, like, they don't really do the whole red tomato sauce when you kill a zombie, right? Like right here, right? Like you see, like the controlled blood, like the blood spray is incredibly controlled. All right, all right. You see that critical hit? There's some blood there. Now, if this was if this was Dying Light 2, there would be like he would just be spraying blood everywhere on the ground, like a geyser. Like it was and that would be the same for almost just about every encounter. It's just, tomato sauce everywhere, right? That's what I call it. It looks so silly. It's just nothing but tomato sauce. So yeah, it's just the way it is. But anyway, yes, I just wanted to do a video, kind of explaining a little more when I'm saying stuff like, oh well, when I do a video I'm like, oh, this is Dead Island 2 being better than Dying Light 2, and you get people who'll be like, they'll sit there and they'll list reasons why they like Dying Light 2 better than Dead Island 2, and most of those reasons have nothing to do with zombie games. Nothing. Okay. So I am telling you that this is the better zombie game. It's not the better parkour game. It's not the better player, human to human medieval warfare set in the modern Dark Ages crap, sort of. No, it's not trying to be any of that. It's trying to be a classic zombie game. And for that, Dead Island 2 excels. So anyway, that is all I have for now. You all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and you all stay safe out there in LA. And I will catch you on the flip side.